Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a super exciting video. I finally have presets! I'm so excited, and the day that this video goes live is going to be the same day that my presets are available. You can find them on my website if you just go to ChristineLe.com, 4 E's. I'll go ahead and have it linked here as well as down in the description box. But once you go to my homepage, there's going to be a little shop tab, and under there you will find my Lightroom presets. I have them priced 5 presets for $15. I wanted to make it as accessible to as many people as possible. We also have the website enabled so that it can accept payment from all over the country. So if you are in Canada, the UK, it's also PayPal enabled as well to make it as easy as possible. Today I'm going to talk about how to use my presets, how to download them on your phone, and answer some frequently asked questions. So let's go ahead and dive into it. If you don't know what presets are, they are pretty much like a filter, but you can use them on Lightroom. And I've uploaded a few tutorials on how I edit my photos using Lightroom on my phone and on my computer. So if you haven't seen my latest tutorial, I'll go ahead and link it up in the corner. I wanted to create these presets for those of you that were kind of like overwhelmed by Lightroom. If you wanted just an easier way to edit your photos, presets are a great way to edit your photos without having a super huge amount of knowledge about Lightroom, if that makes sense. This first preset is going to include 5 different presets, and I wanted these presets to be the basics, the absolute minimum that you need to edit as many photos as possible. So the first preset that I have is called Moody, and this one is perfect if you kind of have a more like street style fit. If you guys remember the photos that I took in the car a while ago, I love this edit on top of these types of photos just because I feel like that makes a photo look a little bit more cool. The second preset that I have is Milk Tea, and this is kind of a more like warmer, toned down picture. I took a lot of photos for my sister while I was in California, and I applied my Milk Tea preset to her photos, and I just love the warm, soft, welcoming vibe that it gives these photos. The third preset that I have is called Golden Hour. This preset is gonna have a little bit more depth than the Milk Tea one. I feel like the Milk Tea is just kind of like soft, and the Golden Hour one is just gonna have a little bit more impact, and it's a little bit more warmer as well. So I love any type of like portrait or lounging photo with this preset. I just feel like it makes a photo look so much more interesting. The fourth preset that I have is Crispy, and my assistant actually hates this name, but the more you say it, the more you're kind of like crispy. I feel like this is a vibe that I go for a lot on my Instagram, just kind of like clean, bright whites. It's like an overall very crispy photo. I would say this one is probably one of my most used presets just because I love when my photos are super clean looking. I feel like it helps to give the like bright white aesthetic on Instagram, which I love so much. The fifth preset that I have is Vibe. This is kind of like a mix between Crispy and Golden Hour. You still get that depth and a little bit of warmth to the photo, but it's not quite as white and bright as Crispy is. So all 5 of these presets will be $15. For the first 25 people that check out, you will receive 50% off if you use the code NOTIFSQUAD. It's kind of short for like my notification squad. Definitely make sure you use that code at checkout and be quick because I know the code is going to be used up really quickly. So I've been using these presets for the longest amount of time, and I just love the effect that it gives my photos. It makes it super easy to edit so many photos, and especially if you're a noob or even if you kind of just want to bring a different aesthetic and vibe to your photos, this preset pack will be perfect. And I'm just so excited to launch this and have it officially be live. I feel like I've always been helping to advertise other brands, other products, and it's so cool to be able to have something that is mine and like something that I make. Some of the questions that were most commonly asked is, can you use my presets if you just have the free Lightroom mobile app? And the answer is yes. Lightroom desktop is available on the computer, and that's what I use, but it does require a paid subscription. So if you don't have that and you only have the free Lightroom mobile app, you can still use my presets. There is a little bit of a workaround that we need to use just because Adobe wants people to pay for their subscription. So of course they're gonna make this process as difficult as possible. I did upload a quick little TikTok on like how to download these presets to use on your phone, but since it had to be squeezed into a minute, the video is kind of chaotic, but it's there if you want to refer back to it and kind of use it to help you download your stuff. Also, if you don't want to watch this entire video, I totally understand. Just check out that TikTok. You can use my presets if you have the desktop version. If you have both, amazing. If you have the desktop version, obviously it's going to be a lot easier to download my presets. Another question that was asked was, can you use my presets on the Android? And yes, you can use it on all mobile devices. As long as you have the Lightroom app, you will be able to use my presets. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and dive into how you can download the presets on your phone. Okay, so when we first go to my website, over here you'll see the 3 little lines. Under the shop tab, you just hit the little arrow, and here will be Lightroom presets, and this is where you're gonna find my preset. Once we are in, this is my preset pack. So it's called the Basics Volume 1. 5 presets are included, and it's 15 dual lists. So once you tap on that, it'll take you to the actual product page, and you can flip through and see some of the presets and some of the before and afters. To go ahead and download this to your phone, you wanna go ahead and hit add to cart. And again, if you are part of the first 25, you can use Notif Squad and it'll give you 50% off of your purchase. I'm not going to use that. Okay, so once we've gone ahead and checked out, it'll take you to this page on your phone. Obviously, if you're on your laptop, you can just hit download and it'll download directly to your computer. And from there, you can airdrop the files to your phone. But if you're checking out on your phone, what you want to do is hit this download button and it will say, do you want to download? Yes, and then up here there's a little arrow button that will show you the progress of the download. I tried this out earlier, so that's just what you see right there. You will also get an email confirmation as well. So if you decide later that you want to download it on your computer, just check your email and the link will be in your emails. Okay, so we'll just pretend that it downloaded. Once it is done, it'll look like this. You'll want to go ahead and open it up and it'll take you to a separate app where it will show you the zip file. If it doesn't automatically open for you, make sure that you have this Files app. This is a free app that comes with iPhones. If you have an Android, you might be able to download the files directly to your phone and then unzip the file from there. But if you are on the iPhone, you want to make sure that you have this Files app, and if you go to the Browse folder, the file should be in your downloads. Here you can see it is a zipped file, which means that it is compressed. So we want to go ahead and unzip that. So just tap it once to unzip, and it will show you a little folder. So here you can see these are all the files that we just purchased. Next thing that you want to do is hit the select button and select all of the images. Then in the bottom left, there's going to be a little save button, and we want to hit save 5 images. So it went ahead and saved that to our photos. Once those are all there, we want to go ahead and open up our Lightroom mobile app. We want to hit this little button right here and then add photos from camera roll. So we want to go ahead and tap that. And here we see the 5 images that we just downloaded to our phone. So if you actually long press, it'll allow you to select multiple images. Hit add. Awesome. So 5 photos were successfully imported. So from here, we want to tap on one of the photos to go ahead and open it up. So this may seem like a lot, but it is kind of a workaround for those of you that don't have the paid version of Lightroom. Adobe just wants to make it as difficult as possible, but bear with me, it'll take only a couple more minutes. Normally to create a preset, you'll hit these 3 little dots, and right here will be a button that says create preset, but we want to make sure that we're naming the presets the correct name. So we'll go ahead and hit the edit button up here, and then there's going to be a little keywords button. Go ahead and tap that, and this one is called Moody, so we want to remember that. If you hit the 3 little dots, that create preset button is going to be gone because we're in the keywords view right now. So we want to go back to the edit view, hit the 3 buttons, and there we have our create preset button. So this one was called Moody, so we'll go ahead and name it Moody, and done. Now all you want to do is continue to do this for the other 4 photos. So this one is called Crispy. So once you're done, it should look something like this. Now that you have your presets on your phone, you're able to use them and apply them to your photos. Okay, so if that was a little bit confusing, feel free to DM me on Instagram, email me. Me and my assistant will be available to help answer any questions because I know it's kind of a lot. So let's go ahead and go through some images together and do some editing. So this one is already edited. I used the milk tea preset for this. This is original. If we go to the presets, we can apply all the presets onto the photo, but as you can see, the photo is kind of dark. So when you apply the presets, it still looks a little bit dark. So these are little adjustments that you actually have to make on your own. Let's go ahead and use milk tea for this. I'm gonna go ahead and brighten it up a little bit, and we'll take the exposure up to 1.14. We'll take some of the shadows down just because I feel like my hair is a little bit washed out, and we can take some of the whites up just a little bit to help brighten. And that is pretty much it. It's so easy to use, and if you want to go ahead and go in and tweak some of the colors a little bit, if you hit this little color button, you can tweak the warmth of the photo. If you want to make it more warmer or cooler, you can totally do that. And if you want to make it more greenish or purple, these are edits that you can do super easily. And if you don't really know how to use the color balance, you can also hit this button right here where it says custom and hit auto and kind of let it do color balance for you. It's not always perfectly accurate, so sometimes you might get a photo like this that looks even weirder than it did before. So you can always hit the back button. It's just kind of like a useful tool in case you want to use it. Most of the time it is pretty good. I do think that my skin looks a little bit like greenish, so I'm gonna go ahead and go into mix, and let's turn down some of the reds, and then we'll go into the orange. And these are all editing things that I've showed you guys before in my recent YouTube video, so if any of this is overwhelming, be sure to refer back to that video. So I'm happy with the way that that looks. I think it is so cute. Okay, so here's another image that I wanted to show you guys how to edit. This is the before and after. Such a difference editing makes. So we'll go ahead and reset that, and we'll go ahead and go through all the presets. Milk tea is cute. I think I want to do vibe. I do want to make a couple adjustments here. I do want the photo to be a little bit brighter, so we'll go ahead and take the exposure up a little bit. I do think some of the whites are a little bit extra bright and kind of like imbalanced, so going down to whites, I'll take that down. Okay, that looks pretty good. Zooming in, I do think that my skin looks a little bit greenish, so I definitely want to fix that. So if we go over to color, again, I'm gonna try that auto trick and see if it helps. Okay, yeah, that looks way better. Okay, cool. I do want the photo to be a little bit warmer as well, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the temperature up just a little bit. Okay, happy with that. I do think my skin still looks a little bit greenish, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit this little mix button right here. The red does look kind of like funky, so I definitely want to correct that. I'm gonna take the saturation down just a little bit. And then we can also tweak the hue to kind of make it look more like a true red rather than a green red. And then we'll go in with the oranges and kind of adjust the color of my skin tone. So we'll go ahead and drag the hue on the more reddish side. So let's do like -7. Cool, I think that looks so much better. And then we'll take the saturation down a little bit just because it is a little bit orangey. Cool, so I am happy with that. So that is the before and after. With using presets, it just made editing this photo take like a minute, which is so nice, especially if I have a ton of photos that I want to edit. It's just super easy to use. And if we exit out of this, you can actually see there is a ton of photos in the set. And if I wanted to copy the edits, say all these other photos were not edited, it's super easy to copy and paste. So if you want to long press on the photo, there's a little copy button right here, and it copies the settings that we just did. So now I can long press on these images and hit that paste button, and it'll paste all of the edits that I just made on that photo to all of the other photos. So especially if you have a lot of images in a set, it's really nice to be able to use a preset and then copy and paste, just because it makes editing your photos so much more easier. Let's actually use this photo and say I want to do a moody edit to it. Let's go back into presets. We'll go ahead and select moody. So here you can see the photo is really, really dark, but how you can adjust for that is to go back to your light settings. We'll take the exposure up to 0.59. And then we'll take the shadows up because it is kind of dark in certain areas. My skin is definitely very greenish looking, so we can definitely adjust that in a second. Again, the whites are super bright, so I'm going to take the whites and tone that down just a little bit. So I'm happy with that. I love the vibe of this photo, and we're going to go ahead and go into colors. Let's go ahead and hit auto again. Amazing. That looks really good. Go ahead and warm it up just a little bit because I just like my photos to be a bit warmer looking. Next, we're going to go into mix. And kind of the same thing that we did earlier, we're gonna go ahead and do this hue button because you can adjust how greenish and reddish the orange tones are. Because I think it's kind of green, let's go ahead and make it super red. So we'll take it down to like -10. That looks good. I almost think we can tone down the saturation a little bit as well. So let's do 5 on that. So that looks super good. And like, it just looks like you put so much time to editing this photo when it really only took like a second. Even if you're just shooting like quick iPhone flicks, you can definitely still use my presets on those photos. So it's pretty easy to use my presets, even if you have photos that are a little bit darker or the color balance is a little bit off. It's still pretty easy to use the presets and apply it on top of your photo and then make the tiny little tweaks afterwards. I'll go ahead and leave my website link down below as well as some frequently asked questions. I hope you guys enjoy these presets. If you do use them, tag me, share it to your story, tag me on your story so I can see and repost it on my end. I also have a hashtag. It's gonna be hashtag ChristineLePresets. That way I can just see all of your photos all in one place just to make sure I don't miss it. Make sure you use that hashtag if you do decide to use my presets. I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you guys enjoy my presets. Don't forget to tap around on my website. I am planning to launch more presets in the future, so stay tuned. Check out my Instagram. Obviously, you can see all of my presets in use there, and I'll be answering a lot of frequently asked questions on my Instagram stories as well. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support so far. It truly means so much to me. I couldn't be here without you, and I'm just so thankful to have such a welcoming, warm group of friends and followers. So I hope you guys enjoyed this preset pack, and I hope this video was helpful for you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Wow, I realized I forgot to screen record. Yikes. Okay. Abort, 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 abort.